ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Thanks for joining us, you guys. I'm Virginia Cha. History in the making with the rollout of the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine, with the first batch arriving in San Diego this morning. We are going to walk you through all those developments in just a moment. But first, we want to start with this breaking news in El Cajon. A terrible crash leaving an officer injured. There is police tape up along Washington Avenue between Avocado and Magnolia. ABC 10 News reporter Leah Pizzetti is there live right now. Leah, can you tell us what happened?
Right, Virginia, we have a lot of questions right now, but what we know so far is that there was an officer who was hit. That officer was on foot. And there's a lot of questions now regarding what happened to that officer and what happened this morning here in El Cajon. I want to step out of the way so you can see this very active scene going on right now. So we know that officer was on foot. We don't know the status of the officer or just how bad any potential injuries might be. I want to show you some video right now of the scene a little bit closer up. You can see shoe on the ground. That's what's left right now here on this scene. We're looking to also confirm what happened with the vehicle involved. Did they stay and cooperate, or are El Cajon police looking for any cars here this morning? A neighbor tells me officers did ask if he has any home surveillance video from between 8 and 9 this morning. Now I want to show you some videos from Sky 10, some aerial video. You can see all of this happening on Washington Avenue. Right now, about 3 city blocks are taped off while the investigation continues. Now, as you know, as I just said, we have a lot going on right now. We want to take you back out here live. You can see cars, officers walking around, continuing their investigation. We're hoping to get answers from them, but right now, a lot of questions still in place. Virginia, I'll send it back to you in studio.
Thank you, Leah. You are looking at a historic moment this morning. An ICU nurse in New York City, believed to be the first in the U.S. to receive the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine. This was the dose of optimism the Big Apple needed as coronavirus cases spike there right now, and after what that city went through in the early days of the pandemic, when hospitals were overwhelmed in this early epicenter. This shot in the arm, one of the first of many to come today. Now, across the country this morning, images of hope springing up everywhere. Vaccine doses arriving here at a hospital in the Midwest. Overnight, a plane touching down at LAX carrying another shipment of vaccines. And just hours ago, footage of the first doses arriving here in San Diego. The county tweeting out this video showing the boxes carrying the first doses for frontline workers who have been heroes throughout this pandemic. Now, other sites around the county also expected to receive doses from this first allotment, including Rady Children's Hospital, where we find ABC 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie.
Rady Children's Hospital, one of the sites in San Diego County selected to receive the first doses of Pfizer's vaccine. A spokesperson for Rady Children's updating the timeline for its expected arrival here to Tuesday. But in the Health and Human Services press briefing today, officials announced the first batch should fully arrive on the West Coast by today.
All deliveries will be made today. I was told no later than 1,400 hours local time. I suspect somewhere in the next 4 to 6 hours that it'll be out in the West Coast locations, if not already there.
The county has received its first doses on display in this video shared on social media. The first batch of the Pfizer vaccine, roughly 28,000 doses, is enough to vaccinate 72% of the people covered in Phase 1A of the county's vaccine distribution plan. That includes healthcare workers and people who live and work at long-term care facilities. It really is about storage, since Pfizer's vaccine has to be kept at negative 94 degrees Fahrenheit. To keep it that cold, it's being transported with dry ice. The shipments also have a GPS transmitter and thermal sensor, although the vaccine can live for 5 days at regular freezer temperatures. Rady Children's does have that necessary ultra-low temperature freezer storage capacity and also security controls in place, as does UCSD Medical Center, which is expected to receive some of the first allocation as well. And we understand doses could be given out here as early as this week. From Rady Children's Hospital, Mary McKenzie, ABC 10 News.
Navy personnel set to be among the first people in San Diego to receive those vaccinations. The Naval Medical Center, one of several locations in the county receiving the first shipment. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell showing us how the military is handling distribution.
While the country waits for their shipment of COVID-19 vaccines, the military is also preparing for their allotment. Here in San Diego, they will be delivered to Naval Medical Center, San Diego.
899, expiration.
This is video of vaccines being unpacked by the National Guard in Morgantown, West Virginia. Here in San Diego, vaccines will be shipped to Naval Medical Center, San Diego Monday, and a portion of those will end up at Camp Pendleton. The Department of Defense chose both locations as hubs where some service members will be vaccinated. In a statement released last week, the DoD outlined their vaccine distribution plans. They will follow the CDC guidelines and will prioritize those who provide direct medical care, followed by critical national security units and then deployed forces. The vaccine arrival comes as military hospitals in San Diego are also seeing a surge in COVID-19 cases. The Union Tribune reports that Naval Medical Center San Diego, which has 16 ICU beds, they are at 70% capacity, while Naval Hospital Camp Pendleton's 4 ICU beds are at 75%. The vaccines are scheduled to be given out on Tuesday. Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Well, this is happening today as those vaccine doses are distributed across the state. Governor Newsom appearing at a Los Angeles area hospital where we are going to see some of the first healthcare workers in California get that shot. Los Angeles is dealing with a big spike in cases recently, reporting nearly 13,000 new cases just yesterday alone. The governor expected to speak around 12:15 this afternoon. Well, nurses and caregivers at Palomar Health will once again speak out against the hospital. They are demanding safe staffing levels. Palomar Health recently received a waiver from the state, allowing them to increase the number of patients assigned to each nurse. Now, the health system CEO told us last week that waiver only applies to one 12-bed unit and is only in preparation for a surge in patients. Tonight, the nurses will be speaking during a public meeting with the board of directors of Palomar Health. That virtual meeting begins at 6 p.m. In our nation's capital, a bipartisan group of House and Senate lawmakers hoping to deliver a COVID relief package.
If we don't come to an agreement, we should stay here through Christmas and New Year's because people are suffering.
Recent estimates show nearly 12 million Americans may lose crucial unemployment benefits shortly after Christmas if an agreement on a relief package isn't reached soon. The package is being split into 2 proposals. The first bill focuses on small business loans, jobless benefits, and vaccine distribution. The second on state and local aid and liability protections. This is happening today. Higher tides up and down the coast of San Diego as we see the return of king tides. We will see those conditions peaking through tomorrow with waves reaching up to 6 feet. Lifeguards say be careful out there because there could be some strong rip currents across the coast and flooding in some areas. A beach hazard statement is in effect until tomorrow night. Crews working to drag a truck from this spot off the 94 after it veered off the freeway and crashed into some brush. One of our ABC 10 News photographers was there as that tow truck tried to clear the debris. It happened on the 94 East near Pickwick Street. Cause of the crash not clear. Police say one person was taken to a hospital to be treated for some minor injuries.